The deep space around Sector 9 was always quiet. It was the kind of silence that felt heavy, like something was waiting in the dark. Alien patrol ships moved slowly through the empty region, scanning for rebels and smugglers. Nothing unusual ever happened here. But today, something changed. A single human ship drifted through the shadows. Its name was Horizon 77, a small exploration ship with a special cloak system that hid it from every scanner. For 5 years, it had moved through unknown regions without being seen by any alien empire. But now, the cloak failed. Without warning, a sharp flash of blue light cracked around the ship. The cloak tore apart like shattered glass. Every alien radar in the sector lit up at the same time. Inside the Horizon 77, Commander Raylan Ward stood in silence, staring at the flickering screen. His crew panicked around him. "Sir, Cloak is broken. We are exposed. We have incoming signals, many signals." Raylan didn't move. His eyes stayed on the dark windows where the stars floated like cold fire. He exhaled slowly, calm in a way that scared the crew even more. He expected this. He knew this moment would come. The comms panel flashed red. Alien warning messages flooded the channels. "Unidentified human ship. You are trespassing. Turn around or be destroyed. Respond at once." Raylan didn't answer. He just said softly, "Hold position." His crew members looked at each other. They had no idea why their commander wanted to stay in the most dangerous zone known to their maps. This region was feared by every race. Many stories said strange things lived here, things that ate ships, erased memories, or simply swallowed travelers in silence. But Raylan knew a different story, one he had never shared. Outside, alien ships moved closer, forming a half-circle around Horizon 77. Their weapons charged, glowing red in the darkness. But Raylan didn't look at them. His eyes were fixed on the empty black space ahead. A strange pulse moved through the void, slow and heavy, like the heartbeat of something huge. It touched the Horizon 77 and shook the entire ship. The engineer shouted, "What was that?" The pilot whispered, "Sir, is something out there?" Raylan finally replied, "Yes, and it knows we are here." Another pulse followed, this one stronger. The lights inside the ship flickered. The crew held their breaths. Even the alien patrol ships outside hesitated. Then, slowly, the darkness shifted. Something massive moved behind the stars. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a planet. It felt older than both. The crew could feel a pressure in their chest, as if the space around them was tightening. The pilot's voice cracked. "Commander, that thing, what is it?" Raylan stepped forward. "The reason we came." The dark shape grew larger, pushing the stars aside as it rose from the deep void. The aliens panicked. Open comm signals blared. "Human ship, retreat now. That region is forbidden. Do not go near that structure." But Horizon 77 began moving forward. Not fast. Slow. Calm. Controlled. Raylan gave only one command. "Ahead. Maintain speed." His crew obeyed even though fear trembled in their hands. The shape finally became clear. It was a colossal structure, floating like a dead monument in the dark. The surface was covered in old symbols that no one could read. Giant pillars extended outward, like the ribs of some ancient beast. For thousands of years, alien empires warned others to stay away. Records said any ship that tried to enter the structure was never seen again. Raylan looked at it with cold understanding. This place was not a trap. It was a gate. And something inside the gate had been calling him for years. Alien ships fired warning shots. Blue beams streaked past Horizon 77, shaking the hull. The crew begged the commander to stop. "We can't go closer. They are going to attack. Sir, please." Raylan finally spoke louder, his voice steady. "They won't fire. Not yet. They are more afraid of this place than of us." He was right. For the first time in history, alien fleets pulled back instead of attacking humans. Their scanners showed massive energy waking inside the ancient structure. Something old. Something powerful. Something nobody understood. The alien commanders shouted, "Human ship, You have awakened it. Turn back now. You doom us all. But Raylan didn't turn. The front of the ancient structure began to open. Not like a door. More like an eye. A blinding white line cracked its surface and slowly expanded, revealing a deep glowing interior. The crew froze. Some whispered prayers. Others simply stared. Raylan's voice was calm. It's opening for us. The ship drifted inside, swallowed by the bright glow. The moment Horizon 77 entered, the structure sealed shut again. Alien ships rushed forward, trying to stop it, but they were too late. The entire structure let out a single thunder-like pulse that echoed across the whole sector. All alien ships lost power for 3 seconds. The message was clear. This place had chosen the humans. And as the darkness swallowed Horizon 77, every alien in the sector realized a terrible truth. The humans didn't break the silence. The silence broke for them. Inside the ancient structure, the Horizon 77 moved slowly through a tunnel of bright energy. The walls glowed with soft blue light that seemed alive, almost breathing. No one on the crew spoke. Even their footsteps felt too loud in the strange silence. Commander Raylan Ward stood at the front, watching as the ship entered a massive open chamber. It was larger than anything the humans had ever seen, big enough to fit 100 ships inside. There were floating platforms, broken pillars, and hanging crystals that hummed with low sound. The crew felt small, like insects inside a giant's home. The pilot whispered, "Sir, are we still alive?" Raylan answered without looking away, "Yes, and this place knows we are here." Screens on the ship flickered. Sensors showed old power lines waking up. Something deep inside the structure was turning on again after thousands of years of sleep. A heavy vibration moved through the chamber. Lights on the walls started glowing in patterns, almost like they were talking to each other. The engineer leaned forward. "Commander, this structure is not dead. It's starting up." Raylan nodded. "Good. That means we were expected." The crew exchanged nervous looks. None of them believed this could be good. Outside the structure, alien fleets floated in chaos. Their ships were damaged from the shock wave. Their leaders shouted orders, trying to lock scanners on the structure again. But every scanner showed the same thing. No reading. No signal. No way in. It was as if the structure had disappeared from normal space. Alien commanders panicked. The humans entered the gate. They have awakened something ancient. This could destroy us all. But they were helpless. All they could do was wait. Inside, Horizon 77 reached the center of the chamber. Then something happened. A deep, booming sound echoed through the space, like a drum made of stone. The glow on the walls turned red for a moment. A cold wind, yes, wind, in space, brushed across the crew's faces. The pilot said, "Sir, I don't think we should be here." Raylan stepped forward. "We have no choice now." The floor beneath them shifted. Floating paths formed, connecting to a giant round platform in the center. The platform began to rise, lifting Horizon 77 slowly upward. The ship systems went dark for a second. Then the entire chamber shook. A voice spoke. Not through speakers, not through comms, but straight into every living mind. "Intruders detected." The crew screamed and fell back. The voice wasn't loud. It felt like a thought forced into their heads. A cold, emotionless presence that watched everything. Raylan clenched his jaw. He had felt this before, in old visions and dreams that he never understood. The voice spoke again. "State your purpose." Raylan stepped forward, even though his legs felt heavy. "We came because of the signal. Something called us here." Silence. Then another vibration rolled through the chamber. "You were not called. You were not chosen. This place is forbidden." The crew looked at Raylan in shock. If they weren't called, then what brought them here? Raylan felt a cold truth forming in his mind. Someone lied, or someone tricked them, or something wanted them inside. Before he could speak, alarms blared on Horizon 77. "Commander! Something is happening outside." Raylan rushed to the screen. The structure was showing him a view of the alien fleets outside. Hundreds of ships had gathered around the structure. Their weapons were charged. The crew stared in fear. Aliens were preparing to attack the structure, and everyone inside it. Sir, they think we activated this place. They think we brought danger. Raylan stayed silent. Outside, the alien weapons glowed brighter. Then everything happened at once. The alien fleets fired. A massive wave of bright energy crashed toward the ancient structure. The blast was strong enough to destroy moons. The crew covered their heads instinctively. But the chamber stayed calm. The structure responded with one single pulse of blue light. Just one. But that was enough. Outside, every alien ship went dark instantly. Engines died. Weapons froze. Lights shut off. The whole alien fleet drifted powerless in space. The crew watched in shock. What did it do? It shut them down in one moment. This thing is stronger than anything we know. The voice returned. First warning issued. Raylan stepped forward. Warning for who? Us or them? The voice didn't answer. Instead, the chamber lights turned white. The floating platform moved again, carrying the ship deeper into the structure. Raylan knew this wasn't a prison. It was a test with no rules and no mercy. The engineer whispered, "Commander, what is this place?" Raylan looked ahead as the shadows grew darker. "A memory," he said. "A weapon. And maybe a message." The chamber doors closed behind them, and the galaxy waited outside, terrified, powerless, and watching a human ship walk into the heart of something older than time. The deeper horizon, 77, moved into the ancient structure, the colder the air became. The lights on the walls changed from blue to white, guiding the ship through long, silent tunnels. No one spoke. The crew felt as if something was watching them from every corner. Commander Raylan Ward stood at the front window, hands behind his back. His face was calm, but his eyes told another story. He understood this place more than he let others know. The ship finally stopped inside a massive circular chamber. The floor was smooth metal, covered in old markings. In the center floated a glowing object, small, round, and bright like a star trapped inside glass. The pilot breathed out slowly. "Sir, is that the core?" Raylan nodded. "Yes, the heart of the structure." The crew stepped out of the ship carefully. The air inside the chamber felt heavy, almost alive. Every footstep echoed in long circles. The engineer whispered, "Why does it feel like something is listening to us?" Raylan didn't answer. He stepped toward the floating core. The closer he walked, the brighter it glowed. Small sparks of blue energy spun around it like tiny storms. The core moved slightly, as if turning to face him. The crew stayed back. None of them wanted to get close. When Raylan reached the center of the room, the floor vibrated beneath him. The markings lit up one by one, forming circles of symbols around the core. The chamber hummed, a deep sound that felt like it came from inside the walls. The core floated higher. Then a voice filled the room. Not the cold, warning voice from before. This one was softer, older, wiser. Identity required. Raylan stepped forward. Commander Raylan Ward. Human. The lights flickered. Human. Detected. The rest of the crew froze. How did this ancient thing even know what a human was? Raylan asked. "Why did you bring us here?" Silence. Then the core released a faint pulse. "You were not called, but you were not stopped." The words echoed across the chamber. The engineer whispered to the others, "What does that mean?" Raylan felt the answer before the voice spoke again. "You reach where others fear. You step where others run." The pilot swallowed hard. "Sir, it's talking like it knows humans." Raylan slowly reached out his hand toward the core. The crew shouted, "Commander, don't touch it. It could kill you." "Wait." But he didn't stop. His fingers touched the glowing surface. A flash of white exploded across the chamber. The entire structure shook. Symbols lit up across the walls. The air became hot, then cold, then still again. The crew stumbled but managed to stay standing. Raylan didn't move. His eyes were wide open, glowing faint blue. He wasn't looking at the chamber anymore. He was looking at something else, something far away. In his mind, a vision unfolded like a story. He saw a galaxy burning, stars dying, worlds swallowed by a black wave of living darkness. He saw an ancient race, the builders of this structure, running from something they could not defeat. They forged weapons, shields, cores like the one before him. But even they failed in the end. Their last act was to hide these structures across space, waiting for someone strong enough, brave enough, or foolish enough to use them. Raylan saw humans next. He saw Earth, its ships, its wars, its victories. He saw how humans kept moving forward even when stronger empires pushed them back. And then he heard the ancient race whisper, "We choose the enduring. We choose the unbroken. We choose humans." The vision stopped. Raylan collapsed to one knee, gasping for breath. The core dimmed, floating slowly back to its original height. The crew rushed toward him. "Sir, are you okay? What did you see? What happened?" Raylan took a long breath. His voice was steady again, but softer. "They built this place as a weapon, to fight something worse than anything we know." The engineer frowned. "Worse than the alien empires?" Raylan nodded. "Much worse. A darkness that eats entire galaxies." The pilot stepped back. "That thing is real?" "Yes," Raylan said. "And it is coming." The core glowed again, brighter this time. A beam of light shot upward, hitting the ceiling. The whole chamber powered up like a giant machine. Symbols moved. Walls shifted. Hidden panels opened. The core spoke again. "Connection complete. New command accepted." Raylan stared in shock. The structure had accepted him. The crew looked around nervously as systems activated everywhere. It felt like they had awakened something huge, something that was never meant to be silent. The room shook harder now. "Sir," the pilot shouted, "we need to get back to the ship." Raylan stood up and backed away from the core. "Move quickly. This place is waking up." Alarms echoed across the chamber. Platforms folded into the floor. White energy swirled around the walls. The entire structure was rising from its deep sleep. Raylan looked at the core one last time. "It chose us," he whispered. The core pulsed like a heartbeat. And as Horizon 77 rushed back toward the ship, Raylan understood one thing clearly. The galaxy was about to change. Outside the ancient structure, the alien fleets had regained partial power. Their ships floated in tense formation, engines humming weakly after the shutdown pulse. Every commander watched the silent giant in fear, waiting for any sign of movement. But inside they could feel something changing. The structure wasn't just awake anymore. It was rising. A deep vibration moved through space, shaking even the largest alien battleships. Panels on the surface of the structure opened one by one, releasing faint beams of light. The alien crews panicked. "What is it doing? Is it charging a weapon? Humans have activated something." Across the fleet, the same order repeated. "Prepare for full attack." But no one dared to fire first. They remembered the earlier pulse that disabled hundreds of ships instantly. If the structure could shut them down so easily, what else could it do? The largest alien commander, General Provoke of the Glar Empire, slammed his fist on the screen. "Find the human ship. Track their signal." His officers tried. Every scanner failed. "It's inside the structure, sir. But we cannot locate the chamber. Space around the core is unstable. Our readings show impossible patterns." Provoke hissed in frustration. "Then prepare boarding teams." The officers froze. "No, sir. We cannot board that place. No ship has ever entered and returned. Even our strongest warriors vanish inside." Provoke glared. "And now humans walk inside freely. Do you want them to control whatever lives in there?" None of them answered, because the thought itself was terrifying. Inside the structure, Horizon 77 raced through the tunnels as the whole place trembled awake. Energy waves ran through the walls. The ship's lights flickered. The crew strapped in tight. Engines stable. Shields responding. Tunnels shifting. Hold course. Commander Raylan stood at the front, eyes fixed on the glowing paths ahead. The pilot shouted, "Sir, The structure is lifting us. Raylan nodded. It's guiding us. The engineer muttered. Feels more like it's dragging us. The ship reached a massive open hall. Floating pillars circled around them, turning slowly as if studying the ship. The walls displayed ancient symbols moving like rivers of light. Raylan whispered, "It's reorganizing itself." The pilot looked at him. "Sir, reorganizing for what?" Raylan's face hardened. "For war." Meanwhile, outside, alien scanners finally detected movement. "General, the structure is opening. Outer plates are moving. Something is forming at the front section." Torvak zoomed the view. At the front of the giant structure, a new shape slowly pushed out. Long, sharp, glowing with blue fire. It looked like a weapon. A weapon bigger than any ship in the fleet. Panicked voices filled the alien channels. "It's aiming at us. Fire everything. Destroy it before it destroys us." But Torvak held up his hand. His eyes narrowed. "No, not yet. It has not attacked." He wasn't calm, he was terrified. But he wanted to understand what this ancient weapon would do. That answer came soon. A single beam of light shot upward into space. Not at the aliens. Just into the sky. Straight, powerful, perfect. It wasn't an attack. It was a signal. A signal that echoed through deep space. Aliens stared in confusion. What does it mean? Is it calling something? Why are humans doing this? Torvak slammed the console again. "Find the human leader. I want him alive." Inside the structure, Raylan felt the beam tremble under his feet. The core was awake now, glowing stronger than before. The ship reached what looked like the main command platform. A raised circle of white stone, surrounded by giant pillars. Symbols spinning around like they were alive. The ship landed softly. Raylan stepped out. His crew stared nervously. "What now? Are we supposed to touch something?" "Sir, this doesn't feel safe." Raylan walked toward the center. The ground vibrated with each step, like the structure recognized him. The core's voice returned. "Energy signal sent. Outer defenses active. Threat response ready." The pilot's voice shook. "Threat? Sir, who is the threat?" The core didn't answer. Instead, the central platform lit up, projecting a map of the sector. Alien fleets glowed red. The structure glowed blue. The horizon, 77, glowed white. Raylan understood. "They think we are the enemy." The engineer whispered, "Sir, they're coming closer." Outside, alien fleets tightened formation. Engines roared. Weapons charged red. Torvak's voice thundered on all open frequencies. "Human ship, exit the structure or we fire." Raylan walked back to the controls. His face calm. His eyes steady. "Open channel." The pilot obeyed. Raylan spoke. "You fired first. You shut down first. And you still don't understand the danger waking in this region." Torvak growled. "You have taken control of a forbidden weapon. Stand down." Raylan shook his head slowly. "You think this structure is a weapon? You're wrong." He looked at the glowing core. "It's a shield." Before Torvak could answer, the entire structure moved. The outer walls rotated. Gates opened. Energy wings unfolded like the petals of a metal flower. The structure wasn't a station. It was a ship. A giant ancient ship. And it was waking up completely now. The alien fleets panicked. "Fall back. It's rising. It's powering for something." Torvak froze as he realized. Humans were now inside the most powerful relic in the sector. And the rest of the galaxy had no idea what was coming next. The ancient structure, now revealed as a massive ship, continued to rise from the dark void. Its metal wings unfolded like giant arms waking from a long sleep. Blue energy crawled across its surface in slow waves, as if the whole thing was breathing. Every alien fleet in the region watched in fear. Some backed away. Some aimed weapons. Some froze in place. But all of them understood one thing. The humans were inside the strongest ship anyone had ever seen. General Torvak stared at the glowing giant with jaw tight and eyes wide. What have the humans awakened? What kind of ship is this? His officers offered no answers, because no one had any. Inside, Horizon 77 rested on the main platform of the ancient ship. Commander Raylan stood near the center controls, watching the symbols spin around him. The crew stayed close to the ship, afraid of touching anything. The pilot whispered, "Sir, the alien fleets, they're forming lines." Raylan nodded. "They're preparing a siege." The engineer stepped closer. "But sir, this ship is huge. Can they even fight it?" Raylan looked at the glowing walls. "They don't know. But they will try." The chamber lights flickered as the ship adjusted position. A deep hum traveled through the floor, shaking dust loose from old pillars. The core spoke again. "Shield layer active. Outer armor charged. External force detected." Raylan frowned. "External force? What kind?" The floor shifted, showing a hologram of the alien fleets. Thousands of red dots surrounded the ship in a tight circle. A complete blockade. The pilot stared in shock. "Sir, they're not letting us leave." Raylan breathed out slowly. "They're afraid. Fear makes empires stupid." Outside, the siege lines thickened. Battleships moved into precise formation. Dreadnoughts aimed their cannons. Carriers released drone swarms that floated like metallic clouds. Torvak raised his voice to every ship. "Hold positions. No one fires unless ordered." But he knew fear was spreading fast. Some captains whispered that humans had gained a god weapon. Others believed the ancient ship would destroy the whole sector. One officer approached Torvak. "General, the council demands action. They want the ship destroyed." Torvak stared at the giant structure. "And if we fail?" The officer swallowed hard. "Then the humans take control of everything." Torvak closed his eyes. His claws tightened. "Prepare strike groups." Inside the ancient ship, Raylan watched the blockade tightening. "They are not going to talk," he said quietly. "They are preparing to fire." The engineer stepped forward, nervous. "Sir, this ship can defend itself, right?" "The core said so." Raylan turned to him. "This ship protects, but it doesn't attack unless we command it." The pilot looked relieved. "So we can stop the siege without starting a war?" Raylan did not answer. Because he wasn't sure. The ancient ship suddenly released a low vibration. Light spread across the ceiling like ripples in water. The floor glowed under Raylan's boots. The core spoke again. "Energy readings. Hostile fleets. Recommendation. Activating outer shield field." Raylan raised his voice. "Do not attack. Only defend." The core paused. "Confirmed." A brilliant wave of blue energy burst from the ship's surface and formed a giant shield bubble around it. The energy expanded outward like a slow-moving star. Outside, alien fleets panicked. "What is that?" "It's forming a shield. It covers the entire ship." Torvak growled. "Hold the line. Do not fire." But fear spread quicker than orders. One alien captain lost control. "We cannot wait. Fire now." A dozen beams shot toward the shield. Raylan watched them hit. Light flared. Shock waves rippled. The beams bent around the shield like water sliding off stone. Not a single shot reached the ancient ship. The engineer whispered, "It's impossible." Raylan stared at the shield patterns. "That shield can bend energy. It doesn't block attacks. It redirects them." The pilot stepped back. "Sir, if this ship is this strong, why did the ancient race fall?" Raylan didn't have the answer, but he felt the chill of his own fear. Outside, the failed attack caused chaos. Some alien fleets started retreating. Others fired again in panic. Their blast symbol curved around the shield and vanished into space. Torvak slammed his console. "Cease fire. Cease fire at once. You fools will kill us all." But no one listened. A storm of weapons hit the shield from all directions. Energy crackled across its surface. The sky lit up with bright colors. The ancient ship didn't move, didn't shake, didn't react. It simply absorbed every attack like rain hitting a mountain. Some alien captains cried out, "We cannot win. This ship is unbeatable. The humans control it. The galaxy is lost." Provoke silenced them with a roar. "No. Humans are inside, yes, but they do not control it. They don't understand it. They fear it just like we do." Then he whispered, almost to himself, "But if they learn to control it, then we are already too late." Inside, Raylan watched the shield glow brighter with each strike. The floor showed a hologram of the alien fleets. Red dots blinked everywhere, surrounding them, trapping them, fearing them. Raylan spoke softly. "The first battle has begun, but not against us." His crew stared at him. "What do you mean, sir?" Raylan stepped forward, his voice calm but heavy. "This siege is not about humans. It's about fear. Fear of what this ship represents." The pilot whispered, "And what is that?" Raylan looked at the core. "A warning." The ancient ship hummed deeper. The lights pulsed. The walls shifted. And far beyond the siege lines, something dark answered the signal. Something huge. Something alive. And it was coming. The comms room of the horizon was filled with low red light. Every console showed warnings. Every screen flashed unknown codes. But among all that chaos, one signal stood out. Steady, calm, and waiting. Commander Rhea stood in the center of the room, hands tight behind her back. She felt the crew watching her. She felt the weight of the silence. They all knew this signal was not a trap. It was something else. Something careful. Something old. Dr. Varen stepped forward. "Commander, the message is repeating. Same pattern. Same breaks. Whatever sent this wants us to understand." Rhea nodded. "Play it." A soft pulse filled the room. Not a voice. Not words. Just a rhythm. 4 beats. A pause. Then one long note that felt almost like breath. The crew listened. No one spoke. Then it happened. The ship lights flickered. The main screen turned black. A single line of text appeared across the screen, written in Terran Standard. "The language of Earth. We saw your shadow. We know your wrath." The room went cold. Lieutenant Hale whispered, "They speak our language." "How?" No one had an answer. The screen changed again. "We do not seek war, but we fear what you can become." Rhea stepped closer. Her voice was calm, but inside she felt the same shock the others did. "Who are you?" For a moment, nothing happened. Then the lights dimmed further. A shape appeared, thin, tall, shimmering like smoke. Not fully formed. Not solid. A hologram, but not using their tech. Something beyond it. The form spoke. Not in sound but inside their minds. "We are the Threener. Old children of the void. We watched your kind rise. We watched your ships break planets. We watched your rage burn stars." Rhea froze. The crew exchanged confused looks. Humanity never burned stars. They never broke planets. They never had such power. Dr. Varen spoke carefully. "You have mistaken us. Humans do not." "You do," the Threener answered. "But not yet." The crew felt the chill. "They're talking about our future," Hale said quietly. Rhea raised her head. "Why contact us now?" The Threener's shape flickered, becoming clearer. "Because one ship broke the silence. One ship opened the old gate. One ship will awaken what we buried." Rhea understood. "You mean the cloaked ship? The one that ran from us?" "Yes," the Threener answered. "It was not running from you. It was running from what follows you." The ship shook. Soft at first. Then stronger. The alarms rang. "Commander!" the helmsman shouted. "Something big just entered our sector." The Threener's voice grew sharp. "You must leave. You must close all gates. You must hide your fire." Rhea stared at the hologram. "What is coming?" The Threener flickered violently as if the question itself hurt it. "The first ones," it whispered. "The ones who shaped us. The ones who ended us. They have felt your step in the dark. The crew felt their hearts drop. Hale tried to stay calm. If these first ones are so powerful, why are they coming now? Because humans, the Threener answered, carry something they fear. Rhea narrowed her eyes. What do we carry? The ship trembled again. Harder. The Threener's final reply came like a cold blade. Potential. The hologram shattered like dust. The message ended. Silence returned. But outside, something massive approached. The sensors screamed. Commander! The helmsman cried out. We have visual. The main screen flipped on. A shape filled the stars. Not a ship. Not a creature. Something between both. A moving void with lines of burning gold crawling across it like veins. Its size was beyond anything they had seen. Larger than stations. Larger than cities. The stars behind it bent. Twisted. Almost breaking. Rhea whispered, What is that? Dr. Varen's voice shook. That's not technology. That's a living star. The first one. The crew watched its surface ripple like liquid fire. And then, it turned its gaze toward them. Not eyes. Not a face. But a pressure. A presence. A weight that made the horizon creak like it was sinking under an ocean. The first one spoke without sound. You walk where you should not. You carry what should not exist. Crew members fell to their knees. Some held their heads. The pressure was too strong. Rhea stood firm. Her voice was strong, even as her legs threatened to buckle. We are explorers. We mean no harm. The first one's light pulsed. Explorers become conquerors. Conquerors become destroyers. The horizon's shields flared as invisible energy struck them. The first one was testing them, or warning them, or preparing to end them. Rhea shouted, All hands! Brace for impact! But before the next strike hit, something unexpected happened. A second signal burst through the room, loud and strong. Not alien. Human. A voice. A familiar one. Horizon, this is Captain Idris. We brought backup. Don't die yet. The crew gasped. Rhea's eyes widened. The Cloak ship had returned. But not alone. And behind it, dozens of human ships dropped out of warp. Silent, ready, burning with resolve. The galaxy was about to learn exactly why no one provokes humanity. The horizon shook as the first one's pressure tightened around it. The crew struggled to breathe. The ship's metal groaned like it was about to break in half. Then, a bright white flash cut through the darkness. Human ships arrived. Dozens of them. Captain Idris's voice echoed across the horizon's comms. Commander Rhea, hold your position. The fleet is here. The bridge crew felt hope flood back into their bodies. The sensors lit up with signatures. Destroyers, cruisers, carriers, even Black Ops ships with no registered ID. Humanity had answered the call. Rhea lifted her head. About time, Idris. Idris laughed softly through the channel. What can I say? I like dramatic entrances. But the moment of relief didn't last. The first one shifted. The stars around it bent again. Rings of golden fire spiraled from its body, growing brighter, hotter. Space itself felt ready to tear apart. Dr. Varen whispered, Our weapons won't matter. That thing is older than our history. Rhea stared at the giant burning creature. Maybe so. But we are human. We fight anyway. The human fleet formed a wall in front of the horizon. Their weapons powered up. Engines roared. But compared to the first one, they looked like insects. The first one's voice thundered into their minds. You stand together. This is new. Idris replied boldly, We protect our own. That's something you don't understand. The first one pulsed brighter. We destroyed entire civilizations for less than this. Turn back. Rhea stood straight. We don't run. The first one reached out its energy again, ready to crush everything in front of it. But then, something happened that no one expected. The Threener returned. Their faint hologram forms appeared beside every human ship, glowing like silver shadows. Their leader spoke, calm but firm. We were wrong to fear you. Your unity, your refusal to surrender. It is rare in this galaxy. The first one's light flickered, almost irritated. You help them? They will end you. The Threener answered. Then we end together. Humans and Threener, side by side. Two races that were never meant to meet. Now standing against a being older than stars. Idris spoke. Horizon, we're sending you data. The Threener found a weakness. Rhea rushed to the console. Show me. A map appeared, showing a glowing point inside the first one. Dr. Varen whispered. This is a core. A heart. Rhea nodded. A weakness. Idris's voice sharpened. We can hit it, but we need someone close enough to deliver the final strike. Rhea didn't hesitate. Horizon will go. The crew looked at her, shocked. Hale stepped forward. Commander, it's suicide. Maybe, Rhea said, but it's our duty. The first one sensed their plan. You think you can wound me? It unleashed a wave of golden fire, sweeping across space like a rising sun. Ships shook violently. Shields cracked. The Horizon's hull burned red. But the humans pushed forward. The Threener projected protective fields, buying them precious seconds. Idris shouted, Rhea now! The Horizon's engines roared. The ship shot forward like a spear of blue light, cutting through the fire. It rushed straight toward the giant creature. The first one screamed in their minds. Turn back! Rhea shouted. Increase speed! The Horizon dove through a burning storm of cosmic fire. Panels exploded. Wires snapped. Crew members struggled to stay conscious. Hale yelled, Commander, we're almost there. The giant glowing core was now visible, beating like a massive star heart. Rhea activated the main charge. On my mark. The first one unleashed a final blast, strong enough to melt metal. The Horizon shook apart. Deck plates ripped open. Sparks rained from the ceiling. Rhea stood at the console, hands steady. 3. The crew held on. 2. The first one's voice thundered. You will end all things. 1. Rhea fired. A spear of pure white energy burst from the Horizon's front cannon, punching into the core. For a moment, all sound vanished. Then, the first one erupted into a silent explosion of golden light. The shockwave threw the Horizon backward. The ship spun out, power failing, hull tearing. And then, silence. The golden light faded. The first one was gone. The human fleet watched in disbelief. The giant being, the ancient destroyer, had fallen. Captain Idris's voice came through, shaking. Rhea! Rhea, respond. Static. Then, a weak voice answered. Horizon, we're still here. The crew cheered. Idris let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. The Threener leader spoke softly. The galaxy has witnessed something impossible today. Idris replied, That's what we do. Rhea looked out at the fading light of the first one. Her ship was damaged, but her spirit was steady. She whispered, Let the galaxy remember this day. She turned to her crew. No one provokes humanity. The Horizon drifted forward, followed by the entire fleet, humans and Threener, moving together for the first time. And across the stars, every race felt the echo of that strike. The day they learned why you never provoke Earth.